something to download. So maybe it's, download our new guide. Then I might put a smaller text underneath that. Sorry, hang on. There we go. Fill in the details below in order to get your guide. And then back. And then this is where you can change the font, like I say. If you want to change any of the fonts that we've got in the system, you can change the sizing of these as well. You can change the border of the text and also the background colours. So at the minute, it will be transparent. So if you've got a background colour within your microsite, I tend to keep it transparent. But if you do want to change it, as normal, you'll have all of your branded colours in here as well. So you can see, first of all, I've got a text input. So I'm just going to remove that for now, because I want to start off with a name. So what I want to do, I'm going to drag across email, and I'm going to drag across phone, because I want people to fill in the email and phone straight away. And then I'm going to put a text input here, which I might name first name. Can you see there, it's now saying first name directly within the form. That's how it will fill in when you actually put in first. So when you click on the microsite, you'll see that it says first name in the text input section. If you want to put in then the label text as well, we can put in automatically the actual first name. So if I just scroll down and click that, what it'll do now is it will automatically populate based on that data being in the system. And it'll come up with Lee. I can also do that directly within the form as well. So if I scroll to the bottom, click on first name, that's really showing the input value. So when you click on the form, it will automatically populate with my name. So here, within the label text, I might actually just put first name, for instance. Then I might do the same here. So I might put in, if I put it across there, I might put in another text box. Oops, no, that's the wrong box. I want the text input box. And here I might put last name. So I might put label text, last name, input value. Let's scroll again. Bob in last name here as well. And again, that will automatically populate. Click back. I've already popped in email and phone number. I've got text inputs. The text input, you might want to gather some more information about them, or you might want to, they might want to put a comment on. So let's say, like we do with our webinar, where we want people to put in suggestions, we might put in, enter your suggestions. And then that's just a free text box for people to enter. And what it'll do, it will go automatically then on the email confirmation that you'll receive. We've also got a larger text input. So if you want them to be able to put in a lot more detail in there, if I just pop that across, you'll see this is a much larger area to enter your text. You'll see we've also got single selection. So if I drag across the single selection, you'll see now this is where I've got the label text. And then I've got the ability to either select yes or no. So where you might use this is if you asking the contact a question, but you only want them to select one of the examples. So I might put in, I don't know, what animal do you have? You might have cat here, and you might have dog. The value, that's what will appear within the aux field. So the minute it will just say true, whether you've ticked it. So you might actually say, might also put in cat, put in dog, and I can add more options as well if I want to add anything else. So rabbit. Just make sure if you do want the values to come into the aux fields, you ensure you pop in those on the right hand side of the values as well. Where you've got the multiple selection, if I just drag that across as well, it's the similar concept, but here you're allowed to tick more than one option. So again, if I might have both cat and dog. Therefore, if it's checked, I have got cat. If it's not checked, I can either pop in false, or I can put in nothing at all within the aux field if they haven't checked it. I don't have to populate that. Let's scroll down further. I've also got the drop down. So the drop down, if I pop onto here as well, is similar to the selections, but this time they will click on a drop down to select their options. So this is where you again use it if you only want them to select one of the options. So again, the label text, it might be the same question again. You know, what animal do you have? And again, cat, make sure you put in the value cat. And so on and so forth. And all you do if you want to add more, you just click add options. Below that, we've got number. So if I just go back, drag in the number text. So here, this is where if you've, let's say you want someone to rate, you know, you send out a survey email, you want them to rate something between 1 and 10. This is where you'll make sure there is simply a number. So I might call it, you know, we've got a number here. Placeholder text might be rate us between 1 and 10. And they can pop that in there as well. We've got a date format. So if I click across the date, so where we might use this is if someone requests a demo, let's say. So when they request a demo, they will be given the date icon here, and the input value would simply be a date as well. And we've also got time. So if I put the time, probably put that next to it, they might have selected time for that particular demo as well. Or you can have them both in there as well. So you can see I've got date and time. And then we've also got hidden fields. So if you make a use of, let's say, the Genius blocks, and you want to a hidden field for them to fill in, you can also pop that here. So where you might use this is if you've got people coming back to your form and filling them out, and perhaps they've come from social media, you can pop the hidden field in there so know they've come from that. You click save. And if I click on the submit button, this is where I can change the text. So submit your form. You can change the font size here as well. I can center it, or I can have it full width. And I can also change the background color to it as well, or within the form editor. Once I'm happy with my form, this is when I'll go on to the submission mapping. So this here is where you can now map all of those particular fields within to the aux fields or relevant fields that you've got within the Force24 system. So if you see where I've got auto map, if I click that for now, it'll just say it will override any existing mappings I've already done. So try and do that first. Click OK, and you'll see already it's put first name and it's mapped it directly to first name to last name. Email address has already gone to email, phone, and date and time. We've still got a lot of other ones to add in as well. So what I'll do now is I will click add. And what I might do is where I've got my suggestions, I might think, right, in aux1, I want to put in, let's have a look. So I might add in, enter my suggestions within aux1. Then within aux2, if I scroll down, I might put in my animal questions. And what the great thing about this is now is I can now concatenate. So rather than saying this particular field has to go to aux2 and this particular field has to go to aux3, I can now pop all of these fields in aux2. So if I've got all my multiple selections, I can pop all of those directly in here. Where I've got date and time, you'll see it's already gone to a date time field, but I can also add them into a date aux field. So if I just scroll on the left hand side here, you'll see aux date 1, and I'll tap in the date field as well. And I can just make sure I pop in all of those extra ones as well. So I've still got my text area, and you see now that's blue now, pops that in there as well. I've got what animal. And I've also got a time field, and then my hidden field as well. So once I've mapped everything, you'll see all of the form fields here have now been highlighted in blue. So I know that's ready. And I'm going to click save. And save here as well. Is there any questions so far while I'm on here? In the submission. So a question from Izzy. Yeah, so if you do have any fields that you're already syncing across from any integrations, so if you've got any like Salesforce integrations or any of the CRM integrations we've got, just make sure that you try and use aux fields outside of that integration, simply because if you're using aux1 for something within Salesforce, it will overwrite it. So try and use them outside of the ones that you're already using. Any other questions so far? Brilliant. Okay, so I've just saved that for now. Let's exit the form builder. So once I'm happy with it, this is where you'll see all your forms. You can go back and edit the forms at any point as well. So if I do want to change them, all I would do, if I go on one of my older ones and click on edit, I'll still go back to the same page and I'll be able to change it at any point, the submission mappings, and fields. And if I also go back and duplicate it, so once I've got one good form in mind that I know I'm going to use again and again, I can now duplicate it so I don't have to go through that entire process each time. But once I'm happy with my actual form, this is when I can now make use of it within a microsite. So all I would do is go to the microsite builder and create my page as normal. So I'll go add microsite, give it a name, click save, add in my new page. I'll just call it home. I'm going to choose from one of my templates. Let's pick one out now. Just use this one for now. In fact, I'll pick one with all. Yeah, that'll do. Add page. Add in a thanks page as well, because I know I've got my form in there, so I want to be able to make sure that people go to a page once they've submitted, and pop that in there as well. So if I now click on my home page and go into edit it, so what I'm going to do, I just get rid of a few of these bits here because I know I'm going to put in a form, so I'm just going to take away these other forms. There we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag in a snippet that I want to use my form on. So I try and probably pick one with a simple background. So in fact, I'll use this one just for testing purposes. And what I could do under this text, there we go. See, I've got the toolbar at the top. And of all the different options, you'll see I've also got add form. What this enables you to do now is look at adding that particular form that you've actually just built. So if I click on add form, I'll click select form, and I'll be able to say, so here we go, the test, select, give it a unique name. So I'll call it webinar form. The thanks destination URL will just be thanks.html because I've just created that for it. I can pop it straight into a marketing list. Put Lee test. I can have the submissions going somewhere as well. So I'll put Lee Senior at force24.co.uk and click update. So there you go. So you can see now, because I kept the background transparent, it's popped it directly within this snippet. So where I've got this background image, you probably want to change that now. So if I click on here, click on the image, I can change it now to a color rather than a background. Have it as blue, let's say. So there we go. So now you can see all of those entries here. So download our guide, I'd automatically then fill in last name. All my fields will be here to submit the form. Once I'm happy with it, I can click save and exit. Publish the microsite as normal. Give it a few seconds to publish. And then that form will now be live for me to use. And then all of those, it's exactly the same as what you would normally do within the forms. You still put in your usual entries, and it will go directly then into a marketing list as normal. It just gives you more of the functionality now to do so. Any questions on this so far? Can you put a form with an email? That's a good question. So forms within emails, they don't tend to work, and that's because of the limitations with email itself. So when you put a form in an email, it's not widely supported. So the likes of Microsoft will simply ignore it, and they'll also tend to see it as spam, so you wouldn't actually get through with a form in an email. Not only that, you wouldn't be able to map it. So if anyone fills it in, you wouldn't see any of the entries. So that's why we always have a form within on a microsite. And we can also then make use of the pre-population and things like that. Any other questions? Okay, yep, so the hidden fields then. So if I go back onto the forms, if I just go and edit one for now. So hidden fields, if I go to the submission map, and look, if I just select this hidden field, sorry, where I've got a value, where you might use this. So if you want to basically track the fact that they've perhaps filled in this form, I can say, like, I might put social, and that will fill in the aux field saying social. So I'm able to fill in that automatically within a field in the system to say that's where they came from. And they wouldn't see that field at all, but it would be pre-populated on the submit. Any other questions on this so far? Okay. Well, if you do have any other questions, obviously you can get in touch with us, call us, or pop up on intercom. And like I say, it's launching very soon. We can put it in your account as a trial as well, if you would like to try this out straight away. But yeah, any other questions, just let us know, and I'll close it off here for now. So thanks everyone for joining.